Justin Partington from IQEQ. As a major fund administrator, many of your clients are private equity houses. Where does your involvement typically begin and end?
Thanks, Denise. We really start the full life cycle from fundraising support all the way through the deployment and closings, the investor closing process, and then deployment of capital, all the way through to investment exits and ultimately liquidation. So it is that full spectrum, really, I suppose, from the full life cycle of a fund life cycle. I suppose the other thing, though, is that in recent times, the fund administration process has expanded into other related services that span the whole life of the manager as well as the fund, from compliance to tax and data services and portfolio monitoring now. So it's become a service in addition to life cycles of funds. There are now services for managers that sort of span the life of managers themselves as well.
And you've touched on it, but more broadly speaking, how would you say that the fund administration business has evolved over the years?
We've gone global as the industry has gone global and our clients have gone global. Multi-jurisdictional funds now are the norm. I think AIFMD also meant that some managers put a new base into a different country, perhaps in the EU, or indeed Asian and US managers expanding into Europe for AIFMs to try and target European investor capital. So we've gone global in that sense as well, alongside our client jurisdictional needs. Regulation continues to drive that, and we continue to see challenges or concerns around jurisdictions with regard to various blacklists around the world that may affect investor sentiment in different jurisdictions. So it's a continually evolving landscape.
And I know earlier this year you launched a CFO elab series. Can you talk a bit about that?
We really wanted to connect with our CFO community, our clients, to try and help them navigate these challenging times. We've traditionally done a lot of thought leadership sessions in person, and we wanted to try and create that same intimate feel for our CFO community, trying to tackle a myriad of issues aside from COVID-19 that our clients are facing, from regulatory, tax, data. And we recently held a session on ATAD 2, which is the BEPS implementation, which has quite interesting and potentially significant consequences for fund structures as clients try and navigate the changing tax landscape.
And by CFO, I presume you mean the CFOs of the private equity houses themselves rather than the portfolio companies. Why did you choose to focus on them? Is it that their role has changed fundamentally over the last few years?
Well, that's right. We try and target or help private market CFOs, so it may be debt or real estate as well in the private market space. And our clients were telling us that one of the things that they saw their role as is to move from the back office or the back room right onto the shop floor. So refer to that sort of central hub where we think CFOs can add value to the fund managers they work for by optimizing investment valuations, the track record around fundraising to really secure an effective and growing fundraising process that brings in those larger institutional LPs and ultimately grows the business and grows investor returns, really through strong access to centralized data in a modern architecture.
And how has the series been received?
We had more sign up for our tax session, which is on paper, taxes isn't something that you would think would be that interesting, but tax is always something that attracts a lot of interest. Managers keen to optimize their tax situation. Every series we've done 5 now, we've had more people sign up to each one. So I think it's getting a bit of traction in terms of the word of mouth.
Justin Partington from IQEQ, thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Denise.